Well, hello there, and welcome to the Science and Design Certification Program. My name is Mike Peterson, and I am the founder of Science and Design. Science and Design is an educational and marketing platform that helps designers and architects realize their ability to improve health. For the last couple of years, I've been producing a series of science and design summits around the country and in Canada. There's a theme that runs through all of those summits and that will run through this certification program now. And that theme is that beauty, nature, and fine design improve health. Science now confirms it, and it is a game changer for our industry. I put this program together at the request of designers across the country. Designers who attended my summits essentially were so excited at the content, they came to me asking to be certified in the science and design. And that's exactly what we've done. The next several slides in the next few minutes will give you a feel and an introduction to the subject matter that's part of the certification program. So, some background. Why does Amazon's headquarters have nest-like conference rooms hanging from the ceiling and a headquarters containing 390 different species of plant life? Why is Microsoft building conference rooms in treetops? Now, I could show you hundreds more examples, but the bigger question is this: what science do these industry leaders and companies know that motivate them to do this? The Science and Design certification will answer this question for you. In the first portion of the program, we'll learn that science has been studying us. There's a convergence of science and design, and the word for it is neuroaesthetics. Neuro being physiological and the brain, and aesthetics, of course, being beauty, nature, and fine design. And science is far ahead of our design industry in understanding the health benefits of good design. Our industry improves health, and you'll learn all about it in the 22 classes that are part of the certification program. One of the leaders in neuroaesthetics and one of our early content providers, Susan McSalmon out of the International Arts and Mind Lab at Johns Hopkins, says the truth is that aesthetic experiences are hardwired in all of us. They're evolutionary imperatives encoded in our DNA as an essential part of our humanity, and they're fundamental to our health, well-being, and learning. The need for what you do, providing beauty and aesthetics, that need is hardwired in our DNA. It's encoded in our DNA as an essential part of our humanity. Science now confirms it. One of our other faculty members that you'll hear from is Ann Sussman, professor of cognitive architecture at Boston Architectural College. Ann says that understanding that our brain is an artifact of 3.6 billion years of evolution frames the new direction for design and architecture. It's fascinating, and she's a riveting presenter. Now, what I've done is string together a couple of slides that'll help you understand this sense of evolutionary imperative that Susan and Ann will talk about. This is where we lived 100,000 years ago. This is where we grew up. We didn't wake up to an iPhone alarm. We woke up to the sounds of wind, nature streams, the flutter of wings. They were our daily expectations and assumptions for millions of years. And of course, the famous savanna. This was our habitat, a place which nurtures. This is what fills our DNA. As an exclamation point to all of this, Nigel Nicholson is a noted scholar in the United Kingdom who says you can take the person out of the Stone Age, but you can't take the Stone Age out of the person. We are who we were. And there'll be several classes in the program that will deal with this subject of understanding our evolutionary inheritance and how it impacts design today and how important it is for design today. What we're trying to do with the science and design and the certification program is give us a perspective on just how important we are. Science considers our industry to be an alternative health resource. Yes, you are an alternative health resource. When you create beauty in the homes of your clients, you're actually improving their health. Science now confirms it. And by the way, it's not just neuroscience saying all of this, it's the medical industry as well. The head of environmental medicine at the University of Texas says architects and designers have a greater ability to improve public health than medical professionals. I hope this is a little bit of an aha moment. That's a powerful, powerful statement for all of us. Doctors, the people that we trust with our health, say that you, designers, have a greater ability to improve health than they do. It's fascinating to now learn what the medical industry and science knows about what we do. Look at the change in your value proposition when you realize what science knows. One of the other subjects that we'll talk about during our classes is the sense of the unconscious mind, neuroaesthetics, and it's also known as the subliminal brain. Eric Kandel is a Nobel Prize winner out of in physiology, who says that the 95% of brain activity is beyond our conscious awareness. All of our conscious thoughts and actions are unconscious first. Folks, we're skating through life. We could live an entire life without a conscious thought. It's interesting. Now, to better understand this, I've added one more slide to help you immediately be in touch with this sense of the unconscious mind, because it's a little difficult to comprehend. You'll hear much more about it during the certification program. But the next slide has 3 geometric shapes on it. I want you to notice the 3 geometric shapes, but I also want you to be aware of what you see when you first see these shapes, okay? Now you see 3 geometric shapes, but you see something more. This is your unconscious mind, the subliminal brain, immediately recognizing facial structure. This is exactly what happens when someone walks into a room that you've just designed. In those first 3 or 4 seconds when the unconscious mind is in control, what do you want them to see, feel, and feel in terms of emotion? The question is, are you designing for the unconscious mind, for the subliminal brain? You'll learn about it in the certification program. We'll also spend quite a bit of time on biophilic design. Our faculty members are from Terrapin Bright Green and from the University of Oregon. They're leaders in this industry. We'll talk about just exactly what is biophilia. It's literally a love of nature. And biophilic design is the deliberate attempt to design for the inherited human affinity for nature in the built environment. Again, we need to remember this evolutionary inheritance. Susan McSalmon, in her book, Your Brain on Art, says humans have existed less than 1/100% of the species history in modern surroundings, and the other 99.99% of the time living in nature. It's no wonder why we yearn for a time where human physiological and psychological functions began and were naturally supported. This is who we are. And by the way, you'll learn all about how biophilic design actually does improve health. Here's an example. I'll give you 2 examples, actually. This is the first. This is a hospital in Singapore. It's called the Khoo Puat Hospital. It's generally regarded around the world as the standard in biophilic design. It is designed 100% with biophilic design in nature, in nature. It's a standard in the industry, and if you're a designer or an architect now, first putting pencil to paper on designing a new hospital, you make a pilgrimage to Singapore to see this hospital. This is Maggie Center, a cancer facility at St. James University in England. Look at the biophilic elements, the fractal patterning, the abundance of natural sunlight, the natural color tones, the pockets of greenery. If the medical industry around the world is using biophilic design to improve the health of their patients, you know where I'm going with this. Shouldn't we be using it to improve the health of our patients? Look at the opportunity we have to change the value proposition of our industry. Terrapin Bright Green will get into the details of how to apply biophilic design. Here's just one example. Let's go back 100,000 years. This is where we lived, safe and secure in our refuge, maybe with a fire burning in the front of the cave to keep away unwanted guests, but with a view outside of the prospect of the rest of the world, filling us with awe and wonder. Prospect and refuge is just one of 15 different design elements that Terrapin Bright Green will talk to you about in understanding the basic design components of biophilic design. So this is what it was like 100,000 years ago. And it's the reason that we love an image like this so much. Take a look at this. We just connected 1,000,000 years of evolutionary inheritance. One of the other design elements we'll spend a lot of time on is fractal patterning. Fractals are self-similar patterns over a range of scales, continuous and consistent, but similar geometric images. Fractals are things like snowflakes and clouds, waves in the ocean, tree canopies, veins in a leaf and in our bodies. And they're generally regarded as being extraordinarily healthy design elements for the human species. Rita Trombin, who works with Terrapin Bright Green, says that the experience of fractals has quantifiable health benefits, including reduced stress, improved cognitive functioning, enhanced creativity and problem solving, heightened appreciation for nature and positive emotions. Improved cognition just because of fractal patterning. Stephen Keller, in his book, Nature by Design, goes on to say, humans have evolved to thrive in complex yet coherent fractal environments. We perceive fractal environments as having the highest aesthetic value. Of all the design elements you have available to you, fractal beauty has the highest aesthetic value. And getting just a little bit more personal on this, we are nature, and we forget that. This slide is another reminder that we are first nature. Here's examples of circulatory systems and tree canopies, sister images in nature, and perfect examples of fractals as basic building blocks. Richard Taylor is one of our faculty members out of the University of Oregon, who's a world-renowned specialist in fractal fluency. And he says fractals are the basic building blocks of nature. You'll learn all about it in his riveting session on fractal fluency. Look at this. He also says that fractals are the fingerprint of nature. Now, before I go to the next slide, take a look at the palm of your right hand. Look deeply into the palm of your right hand. And you'll see that a reminder that we are walking fractals, the basic building blocks of nature. And the last portion of the certification program will be dedicated to helping you begin to implement and market the science and design and neuroaesthetics and biophilia. What's exciting to me is to see what graduates of the program are already doing with this new knowledge. The last module of the certification is really important because it will help us act on what we've learned. Our value proposition, actually your value proposition, is far greater than you're getting credit for. You improve health, take credit for it. Build a health community around yourself. Be the authority that drives it, and be an early adopter. The last classes in the program will help you do that. Here are several examples of graduates who have already moved on and are already implementing and marketing the science and design. They've repositioned their brand to be distinguished and separated from the rest of the community. This is Jenny Pippin out of Central North Carolina, talking about the science of a happy home, neuroaesthetics, and how home affects your mental health. She does a monthly blog, and her subject matters are things like science of stress reduction, the science behind biophilic design to heal mind, body, and soul. This is Dayhouse Studio out of Utah, bridging interior design and health, a new paradigm for design. Yes, folks, this is exactly where our industry is headed. This is Erin Oranchak, near just outside of Washington, D.C., who regularly does panel presentations with me at various markets. As a graduate of the program, by the way, I'm always looking for panelists and fellow presenters around the country to help me share information on the neuroaesthetic and biophilic movement that is happening in interior design today. Look at how Aaron talks about neuroaesthetics, the science of how beauty and art affect our soul and mind. This is Bartone Interiors out of Virginia, talking about biophilic design. Here's Patricia Kennedy from Rendezvous Design in Fort Lauderdale. Wellness is the new wealth. She talks about how her new knowledge of neuroaesthetics and biophilia promotes healing in human-centric design. All of this is new because of the Science and Design Certification Program. Here's another graduate, Tricia Turk out of Colorado Springs, the interior design firm dedicated to the beauty of well-being. Her first sentence in her text is, neuroaesthetics is the study of beauty and science. These designers are leading the movement and changing our industry. And here's one more, Erica McLean, a recent graduate, talking about how hers is a science-based design approach. Ladies and gentlemen, we are an industry whose future is now born in science. This is where it started for me, a chance meeting with an architect in Denver, Colorado in 2015. Don Ruggles, went on to write and author the book Beauty, Neuroscience, and Architecture. And if you like this subject matter, I heartily recommend that you get your hands on this book. It's a great primer for your introduction to the science and design. The certification course is 22 classes. It's extraordinarily valuable in positioning you and distinguishing you in your marketplace. It's self-paced. You have up to a year to complete it, 22 classes. You'll learn from academics at Johns Hopkins, University of Pennsylvania, and Texas, and Oregon, and the Boston Architectural College. As a result of sitting through this little introductory talk, I'm giving you a promo code that'll help save you $100. The promo code is SID 100. SID 100. Go to scienceanddesign.com, and that's where you'll find more information on the certification program. Here's a quote that Erin sent me after she graduated. She was so enthralled and changed because of the certification program. She says, "You've revolutionized not only my business, but have set the course to revolutionizing the impact that interior design has on society as a whole." And what's important to me is to make sure you know we'll hold your hand in this process. You won't be alone. You can email me, you can call me. I love this subject. I'm passionate about it. I know that it is changing the basic premise and foundation of interior design. We are an alternative health resource. And it's such an opportunity for all of us to move this industry ahead. We are changing the value proposition for hundreds of designers. The response we receive is that the information we provide is game-changing, cutting edge, and very importantly, validating. The future of design is born in science. Welcome to the future of design. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you will take advantage of the Science and Design Certification Program.